Hello, everyone. Welcome to Riga, Latvia. Day 2 coverage of the ISU Junior Grand Prix 2024. I have lost my voice, Mark. Thank God you're here. The Paris pre-program coming up in just a few moments. We had a great short program yesterday.
A really exciting short program, and this will be the first event where the medals will be decided and points potentially for the Junior Grand Prix final handed out. The top 3 teams after the short program separated by just over 1 point, making it for a very exciting free skate to come.
It's going to be quite the battle for the podium, and the Paris free program starts right now. Welcome back to Riga. Day number 2 of competition, the Junior Pairs free program. My voice is starting to come back. Mark Anready joins me here as we do a flyover of the Volvo Sport Arena, the host of this and many other Junior Grand Prix over the last number of years.
And we've been treated incredibly well by the host organizers, and really impressed by the food given out, to be honest. I've just been complimenting those that are in catering here.
He's just had lunch, so he's very happy.
Yeah.
He's very happy.
Fueled.
No question. So we do have a very tight competition. So we take a look at the officials for this event. A very close competition, Mark, particularly for the top 3. Anything can happen. Just one error on one element makes a difference.
Yes, and for some of the teams, of course, there will be vying to qualify to compete at the Junior Grand Prix final, which takes place alongside the Senior Grand Prix final this year in Grenoble in France in December. And there, the starting order, you can see a bigger separation across points, and these teams that will be in the earlier stages of the event coming into this competition with a different approach, much more of a learning opportunity, whereas Jasmine Desrochers and Kieran Thrasher will be hoping to take their first Junior Grand Prix title.
And we did talk about the improvement and the depth of the competition, that we are seeing the throw triples and the triple twists and the double axles and the solo jumps and whatnot at a higher level of difficulty than what we have seen in the past. Not all teams, but certainly the top half of the teams are showing a higher level of difficulty, which is really good to see, and we can see better skating skills as well. This discipline has improved vastly over the past three years.
And the International Skating Union have been vocal and conscious of it, and so there are pairs seminars hosted by the International Skating Union to try to develop the discipline, offer the opportunity for skaters who haven't competed as pair skaters to try the discipline. And as we see the Spanish team, we can see just a very clear comprehension of the technique. They will not be attempting perhaps the difficulty that we see from others, but the biomechanics of the elements they are doing looks to be taught well.
This discipline is risky, and so the basics have to be solid before you start the difficulty. So no problem there. Do we have any questions coming in, Mark?
As I gaze my eyes over to the media team, as yet not so much, and so thus we open up the forum for those of you
Sorry, I spoke out of turn.
And Andreas, you star, we do have questions, and one of those comes from at Une Petite Patineuse. What's the craziest thing that's happened to you during a competition? Wow, that's...
As a skater?
I presume so.
Well, you have a much more glamorous history than I do, so...
The craziest thing, gosh, I think I had something that happened to me that I think has happened probably to many skaters in the free skating. I remember competing as a junior man and doing flying camel and belly flopping. And I think I winded myself so badly that I had to stop mid-performance, go over to the referee, and then picked it back up again. That happened. And then I remember being in the Italian mountains at a competition in Courmayeur, and my trouser strap unpung, like it came loose, and so the referee had to stop the performance for me and my I was ice dancer at this point, and we had to stop. And at that point, you didn't get a deduction for this. Now there's a 5-point deduction should that happen. That didn't happen at that time, so we were stopped halfway through our free dance, and I didn't know why when the referee was blowing their whistle. And then it was like, oh wow, we get to pick up halfway through, fresh and energetic. It was like a gift from the gods above.
I have that beat. Mine is more in the show, though.
Okay.
In the show, I did a adagio number, and I bent down to flip my partner up, and my pants ripped. Okay, that's okay. But you said you're professional. Keep going, keep going. And I also had my leg bandage, but the bandage started to come undone. So then the bandage started to unravel between my legs.
Goodness.
The wind was, I mean, it was horrible. My partner said, should we go on? Should we not go on? I said, no, we have to go on. I got off the ice, got in trouble for going on.
Oh, no.
It was pretty pathetic.
That's
but
when
costume malfunction, I think it's called. Right?
Both glad and sad that social media and camera phones weren't
yeah, we're so happy that didn't happen. Okay, what's our next question?
So next question coming through comes from... see, Andreas says, this is a chance for us to acknowledge the wonderful social media team that we do have, and they're just sending us over. So the question this time, what's your best memory from commentating at the Junior Grand Prix?
Oh, wow. Okay, you go first because my mind spans 10 years, so.
Oh, yeah. So for me, I think probably, I mean, there's so many wonderful memories, but for me, being on site, I was fortunate enough to do quite a lot of commentary of senior events, but that had been remotely done in studios in London. And so I don't know if I'd commentated actually at any event on location. And so coming to join you in Courchevel in France 2 years ago, I was just blown away by the location, and that's a real treat. And then I remember Hannah Lim and Yi Kwan, a Korean ice dance team that made history in becoming, I think, the first Korean team to win a medal at Junior Grand Prix, and they performed to Dance Macabre. And I just remember being spellbound by the performance abilities of some so young, and it was just, it was something that when I asked, off the cuff, what my memory is, that's the one that springs to mind first.
Certainly, I don't want to fence on this, but I've had so many beautiful performances. Alexander Chulsova in Brisbane, trying the quad. I said, oh my gosh, this is the first time a junior has ever done a quad. And that was the beginning of that sort of quad era, if you will. That was sort of shocking. You didn't realize what was actually happening. Yeah. You thought it was a one-off, but it wasn't a one-off. It was the start of a trend, if you will. And some of the audiences, when we would go to Japan, and absolutely packed. And I think one could barely do an axle, and the support of the Japanese fans and the Japanese skaters and all the skaters of this young man who was a bit of a menace on the ice on the warm-up was incredible. It was very emotional because that was what juniors was all about. Now we get going to the junior pair event. Okay, are you ready?
Sure are, and we've got some great questions for later on as well coming in. And so we start the pairs free skate, and it will be opened by Niamh Davison and Daniel Borisov. They had a challenging short program, a couple of falls within that event, but we acknowledge this is a team that has been together for such a short period of time, and indeed Daniel has only been in this discipline for 5 months. Neve Davison and Daniel Borisov, and this, Ted, is where I feel so incredibly privileged to be in this position to be able to share with the viewers a little bit of the backstory.
Yeah.
And I've obviously mentioned the fact that Daniel's only been doing pairs for 5 months. They've only been skating together for that time. Daniel's never partnered anybody else. And some could question, well, why are they here if they haven't had sufficient time to learn and master the pairs disciplines? But Neve has relocated her entire life to join Daniel and Coach Trudy in the States. The timing of their partnership, it would be an awfully long time to wait for next season to showcase this commitment to one another. So it's very much they're competing here in the knowledge that they do need more time, but to amass experience. And so to anybody tuning in and saying, oh, why is it relatively simple elements? Why are they having challenges with this more so than others? Because they simply haven't had time. But they both rotate in the clockwise direction, which is so rare to have. First of all, it's rare in itself, and then to find a partner who matches you in that in itself is a gift that they found. And I actually think that physically they're a really good match, and with more time I think they'll be great. I just hope that they and their families and everybody around them supports the belief that more time could see a completely different pairing should they compete again next season.
I think it's well said. I mean, and to summarize quickly what you had said, I mean, basically they're matched extremely well. They don't have yet the individual and pair skating skills or experience. However, they need to get that experience, and they ought to get it by doing it. Okay, so yes, they practiced and they came over here to compete. That's what's so great about the Junior Grand Prix. This is not about all of them being the very best.
No.
They're not all going to be the skaters from Japan to Korea and the States or whatever. They're going to be in different stages of development. And that is quite okay, and that's what makes this special. This team makes the Junior Grand Prix special.
Yeah.
Because it's for all.
And, I've known Neve for many, many years. She trained in Sheffield in the UK, and she could have gone on to have and maybe in the future we're going to have a great successful career as a pro skater. She's such a great performer, but she's choosing to push herself. It's a big life choice to put yourself in this competitive arena, and she's choosing to amass more experience and pursue the potential of a bigger dream.
And they're not chasing something that is easy.
No.
They're chasing something that's difficult, and they know that, and it's only the commitment long term to making that become not easy but easier, right? So this is just a start.
And they are fortunate in the position that they have their coach Trudy, who teaches the other American team, one of the other American teams here, so they're exposed already in training to better quality. They'll know what's necessary, and if you don't put yourself in for competition, it doesn't fuel the desire to improve quicker. If they had waited another full season before putting themselves out, they'd still have all the lessons of first time competing together I say endure, that's maybe not the right word, but to go through, whereas now hopefully with this experience they'll bond more as a team, unite together, gel together even more cementedly.
I mean, you and I understand that. What we're trying to do is explain that to people, like they're okay, they're on their course. It's a 47.72 for the free program, certainly not what they wanted, not what they worked for, but this is going to only come in time. They have to go through this pain, 75.93. They have to go through the pain of a competition like this in order to take the next step.
Next to skate, representing Spain,
And now to the Spanish team, 16-year-old Claudia Sinclair Scotti and 17-year-old Noah Quesada Grau. They were 9th of the 10 teams that competed in this short program, but they showcased some passionate expression and interpretation yesterday.
You know what I love, Mark, about this team, what they did and what the coach did, is they took inventory on what they can do relatively well and kept drilling the basics of this, making sure that they weren't trying something that would break the program apart, that they were not capable of at this moment, to take the simplicity and make the quality better. And they took one element at a time, did the best they can, extremely well organized, and they'll get better and they'll get more difficulty as the confidence gains.
Well, it was amazing to see this early in the pairs competition that all of the boxes in the top left-hand corner of the screen turned green.
Yeah, green, exactly.
Indicating a positive grade of execution, and for that to happen at this point in the season, at this early development, is real testament to them and their coaches.
It's well planned out for the future. They executing this today, but their future is based on, there's the group 5 reverse lift, very difficult because the woman goes in blind. She puts her hand behind. He's got to get that hand. She doesn't know if he's going to catch it or not. And then she goes up backwards and turns into forward. And really good turns by this young man. Not a lot of speed coming across the ice, but carrying the flow with the speed that they had going in.
And as we look at the throw double salto, it reminds me a little bit of Nikolai Detria, who was the Italian representative in the men's event. Here the throw double loop, coached by the same coaches and refined. There was an element of refinement to the movement. You can see here in Claudia, she's engaging her posture. She's making sure she's mindful of the turnout of the free leg extension here.
And really good flow by this gentleman across the ice. He's keeping, we saw that sort of stutter at the end, but he was very clean on his turns. Everything they did had good quality to it. Not as difficulty yet, but the quality is there. Good start.
And I mentioned about other teams or other skaters knowing that they need to up their technical ante. They'll be only too well aware of that, and that will be in progress, I am sure.
Free program 79.12 for Claudia and Noah. That is first. We're the second team out with a total competition score of 117.06. They all three in the Kiss and Cry look satisfied with that, and so they should be. Good plan, good execution, great start.
Next to skate, representing Czech Republic,
And now to the team representing Czechia, Debra Anakoan and Lukas Wojcicka. And they will skate to Flying and the beautiful music To Build a Home. Deborah Anakon and Lukas Wyszocka. And you can see there are more red boxes in the top left-hand corner of the screen, suggesting those negative grades of execution. However, this team went for throw triple salchow, had the split triple twist, had side-by-side double axel, so their base value and the tech score much higher. And with that increased difficulty comes, of course, more risk.
Yeah, no question. And we saw one of the lifts get a little shaky with the right arm. We're going to take a look at that on the replays as well. So their degree of difficulty was higher. As Mark mentioned, the risk was also higher and the quality went down a little bit. But this is part of the process. You want to have those difficult elements, but you also want to have them quality. That takes time to build both difficulty and quality. Let's take a look at some of the elements in this program. There's the triple twist. That is in the level 2. So 2 of the features there, but a minus GOE. Here's the double axles. Get all the way around, step up into second double axle, which is difficult to do up into a single axle in the junior pairs. Here's the throw, triple salchow, upper body over-rotated and couldn't stop the rotation. Here's the scoop 5 lift. Let's take a look at this right. Watch the right arm shaking right there. It's not comfortable. It's got to lock that elbow. He does eventually, but it's still a little bit shaky. The turns were a little bit back on the heel, and then on the toe, rocking back and forth just a little bit. But gets it done. Strong, strong young man. And there's the throw. Double flip. And that was nice and easy. Here's that group 4 lift. He's in the spread eagle. They go up. This lift will come down. Watch the turns get a little wonky here. A little bit faster, and the body alignment gets off. She needs to stay right on top of him, and that just got a little bit off center. And the lift had to come down. But good catch on that.
Yes.
Nicely, safely brought back down to the ice.
And I actually thought, I know that the team had explained to me that they've chosen to have a more romantic free skate to show a different style of expression, and they're conscious of that. And I actually thought there were some lovely touches. The choreo sequence, which is mandatory in the free skate for the single skaters and the pair skaters, had some lovely touches as well. But the judges, when there are mistakes, that does impact on the component score as well. So as the season progresses and a cleaner skate happens, those components will skyward as well.
Again, we see, totally the process of development and the process, and this is the first step of the whole year. So this is not unusual for sure. 71.53, that is second in the free program for Deborah Anna and Luca. And a 112.83 that will put them, for the moment at least, overall into second place. Okay, next group up. You go into the phone. What's on the phone?
Well, we still have a barrage load of questions.
Okay, excellent.
Thank you to those that have sent in questions in reaction to the International Skating Union's Instagram social media page. We appreciate it, and we hope that you're enjoying the coverage, and we can answer any questions that you may have about the sport or indeed about the skaters that are showcasing their talent to us here in Riga. So, where to start? When do the
easiest one? Start with the easiest
definitely. A question coming in from @Pilar Solvas. When do the senior Grand Prix start?
Okay, well, I'm not sure if we've got that graphic. Guys in the truck, are you able to bring up that senior Grand Prix schedule? I know I'm surprising them. I hope they're listening, but they might not be. And if they do, if they bring it up, then we'll take a look at it. It'll start in Allen, Texas, I think, again, in October
18th to the 20th, from memory, and then
Halifax.
Yep.
In Canada. I'm not sure where it goes from there.
I think it's then Finland, France, China. I don't know. I know that we'll be commentating on some of them. As to where they are, we'll be looking at the skating.
I think I'm doing the one in Allen, Texas. I think you're doing 4 others, right?
3 of the others, France, Finland, and China. So,
I'm going to ask you a question. Do you prefer working with me or by yourself?
Oh my gosh, it's way better to be with you. And insofar as actually, I'm always a little bit reluctant to be controversial, and of course I want to... I
a little bit reluctant to be controversial. Hello, you should be a lot reluctant.
Yeah, exactly. And I care so passionately about the sport, so I'm reluctant to say anything. These are very long days, and inevitably you get tired, so you don't want to then get caught off saying something that anybody could take out of context.
Yes.
When you're working with somebody like yourself who cares as passionately as well about the sport, I know that you recognise my care for the skaters in the sport, so we can touch a little bit more on some subjects and discuss them and debate them. When I'm on my own, I'd be far less inclined to do so.
Okay.
Right, next, oh my goodness, that is an absolute cracker.
A cracker? Okay. Is it a cracker like you can't, it's such a big cracker you can't actually ask the question?
Yeah, possibly. So I'll go to a question from @April_Orica. It's actually directed to me, but
go ahead.
Mark,
go ahead.
was there ever a dance routine which you could not understand at first and ended up loving it? Well, for the skaters competing in this pairs event, I hope that many of them, when they have hopefully enjoyed the pinnacle of their competitive careers and feel really satisfied with their competitive days, will have the opportunity to perform in shows. You and I have both done that. It's great fun.
Yeah.
When as a show skater, I remember a wonderful pairs coach, Mark Naylor, who was a choreographer for me in the show, said, you skate as directed. And thus we are given music and given costumes. And there are many an occasion when I'm given music and a costume that I would never choose. And I remember once having to skate to the Spice Girls in a neon blue sparkly costume.
Does that tape still exist?
Yeah.
We want that video. If anybody out there has that video, please send it to the ISU.
Oh my goodness.
We need that on the show.
You know what? What actually was fun about it, and what I can say, whilst I may have looked like a numpty, is that I was in that instance. It was skating with a celebrity in the UK, and it was a wonderful experience of seeing somebody learn to enjoy ice skating. And obviously, we love skating, and to see people who would not normally choose it.
Okay, so that was a professional show. Did you ever do ice shows when you were a little kid?
Oh gosh, there's a better one. You've just reminded me of another one. No, I didn't actually turn up. So
I skated as a rooster.
I was a hippo I was a Sugar Plum Fairy hippo.
You were a hippo.
I was a hippo with a tutu.
Okay. You see, the rooster thing with the beak and the tail, just wasn't doing it for me, but I was too young to know that I really look stupid.
One of my very close friends, Kelly, was responsible for creating a show, and it was my first ever ice show. And when I had spent my whole life trying to be a world-class ice skater, was told that I'd be in a hippo costume, I had to...
I bet you were proud, eh?
I just remember thinking, what am I doing with my life?
And mom and dad back home are going, we're so proud of our son as a hippo.
Yeah. Right? Another question that's come in, what countries are you most excited for with the recent development in skating?
Well, that's interesting. I mean, I have a difference. You're going to think elite, but I'm not thinking elite. I am thrilled that we're having countries join the ISU, United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Chile. Of course, we've had Argentina for a number of years now. The Middle East is being developed. I think it's so exciting. This sport will get discovered by these countries that don't even know what this even exists at the moment. It'll get discovered and it'll get loved in a different culture, and it'll be presented in a different way. That is what I'm excited about.
And I couldn't agree more. And for me, actually, thinking about it, it's great to see participation. And then what I love to see is not just participation, but then when there becomes enough of a motivation behind it to make it into some serious development. Last year, we saw the New Zealand skater in the men's event in Bangkok, and it was amazing. And the work that his coach was doing with other skaters, phenomenal. We're watching the pairs discipline. Italy is emerging as one of the strong pairs nations.
Not just pairs. Italy has done such a good job at reviewing their federation and the programs that they're running, and said, okay, if we're going to be one of the top challengers in the world in the team event, we need to put our pairs, our dance, and our singles together, and they've really done an outstanding job. So I really give them a lot of credit for, over the past 5 or 6 years, putting themselves at the top of the game.
So
okay,
I'll reserve those questions. I'll maybe have to look at them before we come to the next one.
You have to filter them, right? Okay, up next, let's go. Keep them coming in, though.
Should be a prize for the best question. And so we open this next group in the pairs free skate with Katlin Jana Salatsky and Lukas Rosseller, a team that will compete in both senior and junior competition, as indeed they initially choreographed for this season for senior events till the new ages come in, and now we can enjoy them competing at the Junior Grand Prix as well. Katalin Jana Salatsky and Lukas Rosseler. And Ted, there were some glimpses into some incredibly refined technique. The throws had, a real insight into their potential senior prowess on the world stage, and then just it looks like they've not had sufficient run-through time to be able to develop or deliver consistency.
Well, I also think it's early stages of development. This is a very strong team. The basics, the mechanics of their throws and their lifts is very good. It's slow and it's precise and it's careful. That's okay. That's where they're at. It's junior, right? But you can see the strength and the power this team possesses, and the technique is right there. It's just going to take some time to get the comfort and confidence to let it fly a little bit faster. Okay. Get over here.
Well, her makeup's on point. We'll give her that. If that's all we saw, well, at least we can acknowledge that Katalin looked ever the part of the James Bond theme for their free skate.
And it was interesting because I was listening to the music. It's quite slow most of the way through the program, and I thought, well, this is probably pretty smart. Maybe not from an audience perspective, because that can be a little bit monotonous. Here we go again with the replays. But they wanted them to be precise with what they're doing and not too rushed. There's the twist, the split, and the double twist is really nice.
Level
Good
4.
quality. Level 4 with a plus GOE, so that was so well done. Sometimes you go simpler for better quality. There's the double axles. This single axle and the second one don't count because it's the lowest common denominator in the pair that happens, that gets scored. Here's the reverse lift. That's difficult back entry. Very precise. Keeps the flow going in the turn. A little shaky on this change of position right there, and she has to put her hand on the back just to prevent herself from going too far. But it was safely done at level 3 in that group 5 reverse lift. As we see here, another throw. This is pretty good, this throw triple loop, but just has to put 2 feet down and still in a good stage of development. There's another lift there. Go ahead, Mark.
I was just going to say the landing, although two-footed, you could see, like I said, a glimpse. I can see in the position that Katalin gave and the landing position, the quality that she possesses potentially, and it made me think of Minerva Haza, that skating star emerging in German pairs. That
There's
elevation.
The throw triple flip was huge. In fact, over-rotated. That's why you saw her have to step out. She couldn't stop the rotation. But this is a team with some very, very good, strong technical basics. It's just going to take some mileage and some more speed and some more aggressiveness to go senior. 70.27. That's third of the free program. Let's take a look at the overall competition score for this team. With a 115.87, that'll put Caitlin and Luca currently into second place.
Next to skate, representing France, Louise Martinez.
And now to the first of the two French. to university students Louise Echard and Mati Pellegrini from France, and a team that come into this pre-skate just 300ths of a point behind their compatriots, and I'm sure there's a competition within the competition for the French pair teams.
Yeah, and you saw in the upper left-hand part of the screen, most of those elements had a green mark, which means, positive, grade of execution, quality of skills. This is a very strong technical team as well. I mean, it's quite amazing that we're seeing the degree of difficulty early on in the competition, early on in the groups. So that's great to see, and good and health for the pair discipline.
Absolutely, to see split triple twist, thrown triples, and to see double axel or side by side triples, that an indication that the baseline of technical element score is increasing season upon increasing to a point where we can push towards the quads, hopefully again.
Yeah, exactly. Just got stuck on that replay. We'll see if it comes back in a second, but I was really impressed with the strength and the technique. Let's take a look here. Yeah, not moving.
But knowing that Louise and Mati are, as we see their split twist, both university students, only impresses us more with what they achieve.
Yeah, that's just amazing. Talk about double duty, double axles, fighting for that landing up into the single axle, and one more, a little bit around the corner, but they get it done. Here's the throw, triple loop, good position of the takeoff, nice and tight in the air. Just not comfortable yet checking out with the one leg, and she needs to make sure that she stops doing 2-foot landings because it becomes too muscle memory.
Yeah, absolutely. So understandable if you consider all of the forces applied to the women's body upon the landing of a throw. You can understand the body's self-defense mechanism to cushion that with a 2-footed landing.
No, it's a good point. But if you're going to go into seniors, you're going to need to land on 1 foot, and at some point you got to take the training wheel off.
Yeah. And just wasn't sure if she'd get the final feature in the pairs combo spin because they just tapped down with the toe rather than the blade assist, which is a new requirement this year for that difficult exit.
But it came in as 4.
Happy days.
So they got happy days. There we go.
Interestingly, in this event, both in the short program and here, death spiral levels are low, the technical panel being strict upon the positions of the teams.
83.25. That is first in the free program, and I can totally see that within that program with a total competition score of 129.53. And that'll put them currently into first place. Here we go.
Next to skate, representing France,
Another team from France, their teammates on the ice.
14-year-old Romain Telemac and 18-year-old Lucas Coulon. And there's a clear storyline here created by their choreographer Louis Taron. Well, Ted, I actually think Romain Telemaque and Lucas Coulon have showcased in this event to me, of those that I remember from past seasons, the biggest improvement of any of the skaters that we've seen thus far, season upon season.
Yeah, you're starting to see this junior team show some signs of senior. And I don't mean necessarily in the elements yet, although some of them are really good. It's the quality of their move and the choreography. And, you know, you have to look deep, and it's really hard for people who don't know the sport very much yet to look past mistakes and see what's there.
Yeah.
And when I see what's there, I'm going, this team, first of all, we were well matched. They are strong individual skaters. She has wonderful extensions, so tidy in the air, and he's a big, strong young man. So, wow.
And I think actually the Louis Taron, the choreographer, explained that she's meant to be a sort of possessed doll, and there were the first time since we saw the Spanish team that we've seen a program with a very clear composition concept. And I choreographed for Pear Team this year, and it is challenging to showcase any kind of thematic string throughout a free skate, because as we've touched on before, there's such limited time given the necessary prep time for the big elements. And the fact that Louis and the team and the coach, mother and coach Emily, have allowed that to come through this year, I'm aware of it. I'm conscious of it. I'm aware that there was a theme and a concept, and I applaud them for it.
Yeah, really nice. I'm not sure where we're picking this up in the replays, but here's the twist. There's the split. Good catch, nice flow, wonderful extension. That is a double twist at a level 3. There's that big pickup of the left. Look at the ice coverage here. Watch the left foot lift up as he turns. Left foot lifts up off the ice. Make sure he gets a nice clean step. Keep away from those toe picks.
This is cool.
Yeah, watch the hands behind the back. You haven't seen that before. Nice dismount.
And you know, it begs the question as we look at this: the better of the two throws, the triple sal.
Great height. Just a touchdown with a free foot, but you can see it check out. That's the good thing. Go ahead.
Just the touch there that we saw at the tail end of the lift with the hands behind the back. You know, a detail like that, somebody's had to consider it. That's non-conventional. And even the opening of this program, whereby Romain starts in front of the judges, places her elbows on the barrier, to have the bravery really to do something that is non-conventional, that's an indication that they are willing to think outside the box and perhaps have aspirations to set themselves apart from others.
I love that. There was a story there when they started that. I didn't find it invasive at all. I found it creative. And of course our camera angle was just perfect.
Yeah.
You know, it was really good. Yeah. This is a really good team that's going to have a bright future. Lots of work still to do, no question. There we go. Throw it in the heart. Well, that was kind of a bad heart, actually. But great job. 87.81. That is first so far in the free program. The total competition score of 134.39. Great job. Very, very bright future. But we'll see.
A whole gamut of emotions.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Lovely.
Yeah, nicely done. Wonderful to see.
Oh.
But
it's time for a resurface.
Okay, get onto the video displays.
Come on.
Let's go.
Well, actually, we have to thank Romain and Luca for just giving us the shape hearts, because that you'll see in the Kiss a Cry hopefully abundantly throughout this Junior Grand Prix series, because we are very passionate about the campaign that the International Skating Union has fostered this year, the Shape Hearts campaign, and there's a teaser for that, a video that you can hopefully enjoy during this ice resurface before we head to one of the mic'd up series where we take a look back to the Swiss team leader and coach Alisa Agafanova, who we followed in Istanbul last year, and finally a look at the backstage fun games and antics that were covered from last year's Junior Grand Prix in Linz, Austria.
There's the lineup. We hope you enjoy it. We'll be back. Stay with us.
It is so exciting that the Junior Grand Prix is back, filled with fresh hopes and exciting new talent. And whilst the skaters shine so brightly under the spotlight, some of the comments that they receive online do not shine so bright. And it's really important to note that some of the abuse in the comments can really cut the skaters deep and affect them in a very adverse and negative way. This season, we're launching a new campaign, Shape Hearts, to promote positivity and kindness, to support both the skaters and the sport. And we're hoping to extend that into our virtual space. Your voice matters. Use it to empower, uplift, and inspire. Together, let's make the rink a place for positivity and kindness.
No, I go to skate. With bad advice.
You know the program.
Energy is there, okay? Let people like this transition how I like it, okay? Take the judge with you that they feel they're in the race, okay? That they really feel they are watching the race. Make sure that, please, don't push so much. Curve enough, start the pattern, okay? There is your time to breathe. My red team. The nerves are there.
It's fine.
That's also fine. Yeah. Did he go home to grab the flag? I said, did you go home to grab the flag? It was half an hour inside.
No, I could find it in my suitcase.
Closer to me, no? Thank you. This lipstick, my mouth is drying out, and then I need to smile. Typical fun. I feel you present. I feel you on the ice. Good. How the ice?
It's slippery, but it's fine.
And bend. Okay, that's so far in the bracket, yeah? Manage the distance there. Yeah. The fox was good. And make those faces smile, okay? Breathe you in the front. Breathe. Entertain. You can do it. Entertain, okay? I need some extra nerves. I was dancing there with you. You're proud of you. Good. It was good, huh? It wasn't relaxed, it was under control and entertaining. No way.
Wow, base. Whoa.
Face is bad.
Bad plus 1 and 1 on the step sequence.
And key points.
Key points, base, everything, yeah.
Good score with like a base.
Junior Grand Prix.
The following skaters will now take the ice for a 6-minute warm-up. From the United States of America, Riga, Jakob Elberg. From China,
Okay, welcome back to the final group number 3, the junior pair free program, the first medal event. Getting my voice, kind of losing it, getting back and forth. Mark, we need to talk about something here. We've had a number of people send us messages about the quality of the music, the quality of the sound, and there's a reason for this. It's important, and some of you may know that now you have to do click and clear, so the athletes have to clear their music rights first. So, but we're in transition to that process. So in order to not have the stream go down, stop down, they can't have the music brought through into the truck to have it clean and clear. We're taking it off the microphones of the cameras or the ambient mics. And so it does sound neat, no question of that, but there's a reason behind why that is.
Well, there you go. That's education for me too. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
Some of the other questions we've had coming in, thank you to those that have sent questions in to the International Skating Union's social media. A question that has come in from @equal_Nazar. A good question that some viewers of the feed will know only too well, and some great to hear that perhaps from @equal_Nazar you're newer to the sport, because you asked the question, does having a jump like Lutz in a program rather than jump like a Sako help with points? And in light of that, the ISU have a communication called the scale of values, and each of the elements that the skaters have within their programs have a very clearly defined value. And so just to give some context, the most difficult and highest value element ever performed in singles skating was achieved in March in Montreal earlier this year, when it was a quadruple axel, and that done by the quad god Ilya Malin, and that had a base value of 12.5 points. The Lutz is the next in line of difficulty and scale of value. That's, if it's a quad, it's 11.5, and there's a big bone of contention as to the differentiation between a quad Lutz and a quad axel, because many believe the quad axel should be valued at higher. And then it drops down to the quad flip, quad loop, quad sal, quad toe, and then to the triple jumps. And so, yes, the lowest valued jumping pass is the
affected by a good quality. They're going to be points added to it, or the mistakes on that, they're going to get points taken away. So you run the risk, you go for the higher value, but if you perform it, so it's a strategy, and it's a different, strategy by coach and skater.
And you'll hear us referencing the grade of execution that's assigned by the judges, and that has the potential to add a half again to the score. So for Ilya Malinin, a quad axel at 12.5 points, if all of the judges consider that the maximum ever possible grade of execution, he'll get 6.25 points added to it. If he falls over, and it's a the mandatory minimum grade -5 grade of execution, then it takes half the value away.
There's a lot of math in there, no question, but it's well thought out. Okay, what else you got?
Another one coming from @Pilar Solvas. Who can we expect for the 2026 Milano Cortina Olympics?
What? Who can we expect?
Who can we expect? So I think with that in mind, in terms of who can we expect, well, we can give you the criteria for the senior events. Obviously, that will be
Who can
senior
qualify?
Olympics.
I see.
Yeah, then it will be the skaters that have turned 17 by the 1st of July. That is into place this season. And then for the Olympic Games, the skaters have to qualify their spot based on next year's World Championships in Boston in America. And then there are other opportunities to secure some of the final remaining spots at the Olympic qualifying competition. And anybody at the Olympic Games will have achieved one of those spots, both based on their minimum technical element scores that have to happen, and then obviously selection from their governing body as well. So we will see the best of the best of the best.
Okay, one more before we get to that 1 minute mark, and I want to talk a little bit about what we saw backstage here in the hallway as the athletes were waiting to go onto the ice.
If the theme...
Okay, when you're laughing before you read it, I'm worried.
If the theme for a rhythm dance was animals, what animal would you be, Ted?
Pumbaa. You know why?
I'll beat Simone.
No, you know why?
Okay.
Because evidently, when I was in Africa, I went to Kenya, and I learned that the warthogs or the hugs, they have a memory of 9 seconds. So they run like crazy for 9 seconds, and then they stop because they don't remember why they were running. And then they run for another 9 seconds. Well, that's me.
You step up from a goldfish memory.
There you go. 1 minute up. I just want to talk in the hallway here, right outside our room. The athletes are waiting to have the door open to go out onto the ice. And it was very interesting. The Americans had, they were live and talking and laughing and joking and singing and all sorts of things. The Canadians are quite animated as well, but the young team from China, extremely focused. The young lady had her eyes closed, were taking her arms through the motions. You could see her walking through the program. The young gentleman was slowly pacing very close to her. So completely different styles of getting themselves psychologically ready to step onto the ice. There you go.
And I think what's great about that, the fact that you have the chance to see it for the other young skaters, how great for them to see culturally different cultures, different approaches, and it just adds to the breadth of knowledge and life that this experience gives them.
And I will say, that's all a little bit to do with nerves. All these teams have a shot at the podium, and so they're all a little bit tight. It's so close. And here we go.
And talking of different energies prior to performance, I'm grateful to have seen the camaraderie between the next team, Regan Moss and Jakub Gabove from the United States of America. We saw them just moments ago singing together, dancing together, joking with the team leader and their coach. There was nothing but positive, joyful energy shared between the team and their coach, and I feel privileged to have seen that. It was lovely.
That was pretty cool. They'll need an 86.72 to take the lead.
Regan Moss and Jakub Gabovic from the United States of America.
It's amazing, Mark. Regan has so much energy. She just loves being out here, and you can see that. You saw it in the back hallway here.
Yes.
You saw it on the ice. Perhaps they're going to learn to control that energy a little bit more. They certainly got through the program and with strength and speed and aggressiveness and assertiveness, but you want to control that as well. So it's a very fine balance to use that positive energy in control.
Absolutely. And what I love there, so just at the conclusion of the program, the bow and respect towards each other before sharing a hug, and now doing that with their coach Trudy, and I really sense that respect amidst all three members of the team.
And the pure appreciation for being here, just being here and getting to do this. You can see the speed just coming, and here's the twist. Good split. And a little rough on the landing. That is a triple twist level 1, so missing 3 of the features. There's the double axles. Great fight for him to go back up in the second one and land it quite well. Throw triple loop, good positioning, or double, pardon me. And you can see really good mechanics there. There's a little bit of shakiness on the arms, but settles it down. Good smooth turns on this lift, except until we got off balance on the back platter. Throw triple sow, everything was a little bit off for both him and her. Now this is the lift, the group 5 reverse at the end of the program, shaking the arms right off the top of the program, move to the hip, but he keeps it going. He's got that arm locked and he keeps the flow in those turns eventually. So really good fight though.
And I was impressed. Regan was joyfully smiling at the top of the lift, despite knowing that they'd had challenges in the previous lift. So a real trust and faith between her and her partner. And you know, Trudy had messaged me before the event, and she described them as a delight to teach, and she said they were incredibly well matched in their personality as well as their work ethic and drive. Now, any coach can say that, but we've seen that.
We've seen that, and you can see.
True.
I don't think Regan has stopped smiling. Yeah, as a matter of fact, the muscles on her face for smiling must be just fantastic, because she's constantly in a smile and enjoying every moment, and that is so cool. You know, the problem is on the way up, you get that because you're just thrilled to be there. And then your expectations and everything starts to tighten up a little bit. The question is keep the love of skating. Okay.
You know what was interesting? They're doing what we asked. They're shaping hearts. Lolly hearts. How many? Oh, come on. There's one more potentially. Kind of.
Keep working at it.
We do have a choreographer listed. It may be that Trudy, the coach, doubled up as choreographer, but there's lots of little hops throughout, lots of little nuances, toe steps, transitioning and maintaining speed while doing it, and I enjoyed that. I think there's some unique choices within the transitional content.
Lots to work with this team, because they've got the energy and the passion they want to learn.
And amazing to think that his first time in the United States of America was their tryout, May of last year.
Wow.
So, you know, this education in pairs, he's just been doing pairs for that time, has been massive in the sport and in life.
Well, the free program scored 79.48, not of approval on that. That is third in the free program with a total competition score of 127.13. That also will put them into third place, at least at this stage of the competition, 3 teams to come.
Next skate representing China, Yuan Wang.
And now to the sincere battle for medals as we see Ji Xuan Zhang walking through some jump takeoffs before they start and take to her start position with partner Yi Han Huan. Wow. Zhang and Yihang Huang. Last year I saw a couple of Chinese teams at one event earlier on in the Junior Grand Prix. This is different.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this program we just watched will be extremely, extremely difficult to beat.
To have triples, 2 throw triples.
Amazing throws.
Amazing.
Lifts were excellent as well. They were completely focused and at a higher level than I think anybody expected.
Especially based on what we saw in the junior pair teams from China last season.
Yeah.
And this team just 1700ths of a point behind second place.
And I think this team is a team potentially of the future for China. Amazing. There's the triple twist in at level 3. And watch the triple toe loops here. And probably they are in at an under rotation of the double toe. This first double toe. Yeah. But again, not a serious deal. There's the triple flip throw. Look at the height and the strength in the back and the stretch of the free leg. Not just well done. And a very good positive Dewey. That group 5 reverse left, change of position, hand on hip. So that change of position was amazing because he let go of that. She let go of him very quickly. This forward outside death spiral is the most difficult of all the death spirals, and sometimes doesn't get to look very nice. But on this one, beautiful. Here's triple loop a little bit later in the program. Watch the landing. Free leg comes out. Absolutely picture perfect on checking that free leg out, punching it back. Wow.
And is it a big difference stylistically? This was so strong technically in many respects. We'll see the next team, Olivia Flores and Luke Wang, having more refined and Wang, but certainly from a technical element score, the plan program content is...
Look at the smile on this young woman's face. She wasn't smiling backstage here. Her eyes were closed and she was completely focused. But look at the smile now. She was determined to deliver that performance. So let's take a look. Their personal bet, well, they actually don't have a personal best. They all need an 80.19 to take the lead. An 80.19, 80.20 actually to take the lead. Wait to see the numbers. 25 points higher than that, a 105.55. Not a huge reaction by them, but that is clearly first place. Polite clap, 159.76. That is the team to beat at this point. 2 teams to come. Wow, that was impressive.
Very, very much so, and that does apply some pressure to the next team. They will likely need now a personal best to maintain at least the silver medal position. Olivia Flores and Luke Wang, the Live, Laugh, Luke team. Olivia Flores and Luke Wang taking the Lion King theme into their free program this year.
This is such good experience for these athletes to get, no matter where they end up placing. I know the focus is on today, the focus is on the podium and all that, and so it should be, because that's one of the great joys of competing. But the experience gained in being the final group, number one. Number two is having a program skate in front of you, which was really exquisite with a big number, number two. And having that energy, learning how to cope with that energy and desire that you have in your program, and maybe getting it out of control and having to try to bring it back, number three. Not all pleasant experiences, but so valuable.
That opening split triple twist had a cautious, tentative landing that paved the way for some of the tightness throughout. And they made it through the triple salto, single axel, double axels, but
determination.
No.
Really,
Yeah.
yeah. I found the lifts maybe not quite as smooth, as much flow as we know they can do. Just a little bit tight today, I think, overall.
Yeah, I suppose that comes with the pressure and the responsibility of being so successful last season, as we see the fall on the two throws. And it does give a whole different energy and a different vibe to their season. Of course, now the brilliance of what they did last year with their Star Wars, I actually think this program is even better than that. And I think
agree.
the potential, it could be so thrilling and exciting, and it will be so thrilling
It
and
will
exciting.
be. It just wasn't tonight, but
Yeah.
it will be. No, they got the right vehicle, the right abilities and skills, no question. It just was a bit disjointed tonight. And that's not a criticism, just an analysis.
They'll know
Obviously,
that.
just a
They-
reality. They
yeah,
know
they
that,
know.
exactly.
And it's just now making sure that that inevitable disappointment can be turned into fuel so that they can challenge for the junior world title and take that.
Exactly. Exactly. And look, they've got a sense of humor and, realization, if you will, for what just happened. Let's take a look at the score, 85.13. And that is third in the free program with a total competition score of 139.51. That will put them at least on the podium. And they're currently in second place with one team to come. Good 20-point turnaround.
And now to the winners of the short program, the final team to compete in this pairs free skate, Jasmine Desrochers and Kieran Thrasher.
And much to be learned from experience and being the leaders after the short program. We'll see how they handle it.
Well, there aren't many teams that could pull off Led Zeppelin in a junior pairs event, but I think it was a great choice for this team. And there's so many different things to admire, and I think this team brings with them it's that kind of North American pair team coolness about them that I appreciate.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting because I see on their plan program sheet they throw double loop, but they tried to throw triple, or maybe it was the south at the end. Yeah, the south, sorry. And so they're going for it. They're going to improve and increase their degree of difficulty. They've been a pair for 1 year, and in that 1 year they won 2 medals on the Grand Prix, Junior Grand Prix, and went to the final. So that was a lot. Now it's back to work to stabilize some of the things they didn't have enough time to spend on. And this is a good team, a very good team, and a really good match, but they just need more time.
And you know what, just that, to be able to look at each other like that at the beginning of the program. I'm such a fan of Julie Marcotte's choreography, but I was really conscious of the fact that Jasmine kept the connection between the two for so long.
Level 4 split, nice catch. Oh, they've actually downgraded to level 3, but that's still pretty good. There's the throw triple loop, a little bit off axis. That's the step out. Jasmine does a great job to stay on her feet. This was a fight through this, the double axles, up into a single. Let's see, they both get the second double axle. Yeah, with the 3-turn.
And I actually think, I was just trying to correlate the creative execution for the comparison between the lifts between Jasmine and Kieran and Ji Xuan and Yi Hang. Actually, the Chinese team do have a higher grade of execution, but for me, Kieran rotates with such speed in the lifts.
He is an amazing lifter, it really is. Here's a look at that throw, triple sacco near the end of the program, and good for them to go for it. The checkout on the throws is not yet consistent. It will come in time. Look at the speed and the flow he carries across the ice on these turns.
I actually felt, effortless is a bullet point for the grade of execution for the judges, and I did think that they were the most effortless takeoffs. And here, bookmarking the choreography with the eyeball stare.
And this is, I don't think, is going to be enough to take the title. It should be enough to give you certainly on the podium. But you know what? It's okay. I'm a philosopher. This isn't a bad thing.
No.
You have to learn the difficult moments and how to bounce back from them. What you need to do to close that gap, if you will, or to, they were first after the short. It's a new position for them, right? So,
and I was thinking about this team earlier today, and I was thinking, when you've got a coach like Bruno Marcotte, who's the coach is the coach of the world champions. That in itself will give such confidence to the team in knowing, well, our guys behind, former world champions, current world champions, will listen to him.
He was the coach of the former world champions, not this year's world champions. No, I know they're listening, so I want to correct that. I want to correct that. So
good point. Yeah. The current world silver medalist.
Yes, there you go.
But every coach is trying their best, but I think when a coach has worked so hard to create a resume like that, it's not that they don't have to work as hard, but the students are going, young 18 and 20-year-olds are going to listen intently.
Bruno Marcotte is a very, very smart coach. He takes his time, he's the kind coach, and he knows what he's doing. He knows how to manage the athletes at the competition. I mean, teaching is one thing, lots of people can teach it, but competition management, that's a different job.
And it seems like Jeff Langdon here has that same kind of positive energy.
Yeah, no, he totally does. Let's take a look at the scores, see what the color of the medal is. 96.82, that's a pretty good score. That's second in the free program for Jasmine and Kieran. Total competition score 152.23, and that'll put them in second place. They win the silver. They get out of town with the silver medal and a good shot at earning a spot to the Junior Grand Prix final. I'm sure we'll see a much improved team next time out.
Turning their 2 bronze medals from last season's Junior Grand Prix to silver this time, and we'll see them again.
And they're already getting better. You can see this is a good team. It's going to be really fun to watch them develop. As many of these teams came onto this ice and came into Riga with more than we thought perhaps they would have.
It's an exciting insight into the pairs discipline as it stands in the junior ranks this season, and we look forward to seeing what will take place in the remaining events in the Junior Grand Prix.
Exactly. Well, there you go. That concludes the coverage of the junior pairs free program. The medals will be a little bit later today Up next, the final event on day 2 here in Riga, the women's free program. Stay with us. We'll be back.